I begin today's podcast by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we record today, the Darkin Young people. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples listening. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Hello and welcome to another episode of Your Parent Coach. I'm Mel, I'm a parent coach and a youth mentor, and today I'm super excited to be joined by the lovely Kavita, who is a conscious parenting mentor and mindfulness practitioner based in Melbourne. She believes in a holistic approach to raising children and guides parents towards a calmer, more connected, and emotionally aware family life, especially in this world where we are shaped by screens, social media, and constant digital noise. She's a mother of two, a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old, and she brings a grounded, intuitive, and compassionate perspective to parenting. I'm really excited to dive into today with you, particularly because we're talking about such a big topic right now. And I think it's really good timing with the school holidays coming up here in Australia. And so I think it's going to be a really good time to talk about this topic, which is all around the social media ban. So, Kavita, welcome.
Thank you so much, Mel, and I'm really grateful for it. And this conversation is very close to my heart because I have seen my kids growing up with the technology. When we were growing up, we have not had any exposure. But with these two kids, as soon as my son was born, when he was 3 months old, we bought him a new iPad. So I have seen him with the technology and with my daughter as well because she's a second child. So it was, gifted to her without buying us anything. So this topic and this conversation is very close to me, and I really wanted, my children to be connected to me, close to me. So then, when this technology, the apps, the YouTube, and all these things were taking them away, that gave me a little, worry how I can make sure that they are connected to me, and more importantly, they are connected to themselves,
Mm.
not just me. So then, I always say to my kids that I'm not taking the technology away from you, but I am bringing your childhood, your innocence to you. So you be, if you are a 10, you be 10. You be a children. You are being there to create, not, get trapped into the technology. So, yeah.
I love that. That's so true. Bringing their childhood back to them. And I think there's this perception that if
Yes.
we don't allow even younger, let's say between ages 5 and onwards, or even I've seen kids as young as 2 or 3 with iPads, there's this fear by a lot of parents because they don't have all the information that
Yes.
their kids are going to be left behind or their kids are going to be bullied or all of these different things because perhaps they spend less time online. And so I think it's a really interesting concept to think about childhood in general,
Yeah. Yeah.
but moving into that teen era specifically, there are
Yeah.
these additional pressures, right?
Yeah, so what happens is like with my son, what I have actually realized when he was in year 8, he did not had a lot of social influence from the technology, like the social media thing, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat. But as he was moving forward into that age where that identity thing comes up, when they start making their own decision, when they go out about with the friends, then they feel that, oh, I don't have a Snapchat, oh, I don't have a TikTok, then I need to get on to it. And this is just because they have this, anxiety or peer pressure or, something disconnection from within themselves, that insecurity takes them towards the technology, and then they feel that this outer world is their real world and they feel that they are connected. But sometime what I have seen with my son is he plays sports so much.
Mhm.
He is like into music as well. He's a drummer. He Since he was 3 years old, he's been playing music. So
Awesome.
he's like, very much sporty, very much into music, but still sometime he doesn't want to go and play with the friend. He would just sit and play games on his either phone or maybe on a PS5, or maybe, just they will just
Yeah.
do the uh, chat, Snapchat, or the other options they use it. And then I was wondering, like, you are missing out all the real connections. So you do one thing. We have provided him this PTV card, which is like a public transport. He can use it.
Mhm.
And the other thing we did is we gave him a phone, but we haven't given him the data. So when he's out, he is connected with us. He knows that in case of emergency, he can talk. He can talk to his friends as well, as long as he can. But there is no data on the phone. So what that gives us a sense of security and a safety, that while he's walking, he's not on the phone. While he's like, where about, like, I have seen a lot of kids when they are crossing the road, they're constantly on their phone like this, and then they're not aware about the traffic. And it is so unsafe being a parent seeing all these things. So then
Yeah.
I had a talk with him that, will you be happy if we do this way? And
Mm.
he's like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm okay. I have got my Spotify music. I just listen that sometime, and then so he was fine, and then that worked really well with him.
Mhm.
But that insecurity, that
Mm.
comparison, constant comparison was always there. Then
Yeah.
the second thing what I have instilled in him is, like, sit down, talk to me, even though you think that there is a difference of opinion between you and me. We
Mm.
need to sit down and talk about what's going in your world, and what should be actually consciously in your own world. What do you want to achieve in your life? Like, what are your goals, and what do you want to do with your education and all that? And then we start talking little bit of here and there. We go shopping together, and
Mhm.
then slowly things were bring, like, I was bringing back him, the actual him, with me.
Yeah.
And then that, I could feel that he is enjoying his teenage years as well, rather than, feeling that, oh, I am left behind, or I am not one of them, or kind of thing. So now he's more confident and more resilient as well.
Mm.
So
I
yeah.
think that's a really good point there is confidence and resilience are things that are built. You are
Yes.
not born with them. And so
Yes,
you
that's
do
right.
have to build them over time. And it's about exposure to situations, just like what you said. I love that. Like having that one-on-one time, getting curious together, even if it's like dream talk, like talking about what are
Mm.
your wildest dreams? If I was to give you $1 million tomorrow, what would you do? I love asking that question to young people because it takes away their own limitations and goes,
Yes.
if the world was your oyster, what would you like to do tomorrow? And just getting them really excited about different possibilities.
That's right. And that, in that sense, it gives me that chance to connect with him, rather than he thinking that, oh, mom is controlling me.
Hmm.
So that he is like he holding his own remote control with him, that, okay, I let mom come in my room, we have a chat for 10-15 minutes, and then she can go. And while that 10-15 minute of talk for me is like that connection time,
Yeah.
that, curious time, what's going in his world, and then making one step at a time for the future as well, like what he wants to do in actual life. Because kids are so stimulated, they don't think about, what they want to do. They just instant gratification, I would use that word.
Yeah, instant
They
gratification.
are like, just
So
want
true.
everything on their fingertips.
Yeah.
So
And it's
yeah.
also, they're so influenced by their friends, and which
Hmm.
can be a good thing in some ways, right? Your
Some
friends can
ways, yes.
motivate you if you have a good sporting team, if you have a good
Yes.
hobby that you enjoy. But then on the flip side, and this is something I want to sort of discuss, is there's this obviously this narrative, oh, everyone has a smartphone, everyone has Snapchat, everyone has this. Who is everyone, firstly? And second of
That's
all, if all parents stopped that mentality of letting their kids have these, all of the apps and everything and just
yeah,
went back
yeah.
to basics, there wouldn't be everyone,
Yes, that's
right?
right. So yeah, yeah. So for me, I have few things which are like, for them it's like, okay, if mom said, it's not going to happen. If dad said, it's not going to happen. So we have few rules which is like a no rules. So while you're watching the TV, you can't eat in front of the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And food is always on the dining table. You have to eat on the dining table with the family or without family, does not matter what time you're eating, but it has to be on the dining table.
Mm-hmm.
While you're eating on a dining table, your phone should be on the kitchen bench. You cannot have the phone as well. So these rules, some rules I bring them and enforce in a positive way that they know it. And when they are eating, they need to say the gratitude, like, you are grateful that you have a food on your plate. So they need to say some thank you prayer as well. So those kind of things I have. And while watching the TV or screen or anything, they have to do certain things before. So if they want to watch some series, then they have to watch a documentary before that. It can be a sports, or it can be like the motivational or educational or science
Yeah.
related, anything, whatever you like. It has to be a documentary before. If you are watching a longer than 1 hour or something like that, then you need to watch educational, like mathematic or science related exploration or art related thing, where the creativity and learning happens. And then once they are done, I had this thing that when they are done with the TV, they need to put some music on. They need to do their, yoga mats will always be there. So they'll do some stretching, some breathing, or whatever they feel like. They have to do it. So that's their screen time routine. That's what they have to, it's like have to. It's there is no here and there. It's
Yeah, it's not open for negotiation. It is
nah
part of it's almost like a routine, right? It's part of the
routine.
routine of,
Yeah,
okay, screen time comes with these things. I guess it's kind of like if we were to liken it to setting the dinner table. So before we eat, we have to
yeah,
set the dinner table. We have to put the napkins out. We have to say thank
yeah,
you for our food. And then at the end, we have to tidy up.
yeah. That's
It's a
right.
very
So
similar process. I love
yes,
that. I
yes,
think one thing that's coming up a lot in relation to the ban that's coming 10th of December, actually, which is
yes,
pretty soon.
yeah,
One thing that's coming up a lot is what can we help kids that are in, maybe they struggle with being in groups. Maybe they are not super sociable. Maybe they don't know what they like yet in terms of hobbies, or maybe they don't feel like they're good at sports, or they don't like sports, or maybe they are from an isolated rural community. A lot of people are saying, okay, well, they need social media to connect with other people because there's no other ways. I guess how can we help kids connect with other people without social media?
See, without social media, what I have done with my little one is like, every school they give nowadays this well-being kind of books to them,
Ah, cool. Yep.
right? So they do it in the school. They bring some time at home. So we cannot avoid technology 100%, but we can use that technology to build the skill,
Yeah.
right? So what I do is like I ask her to pick up this book,
Mm-hmm.
copy every single thing,
Mm-hmm.
just copy, don't put your head in. And that way she goes on a Canva or some other apps, and then present like the presentation kind of thing. So she makes all the pages like creating a book or something. And then that way that creativity is there. And to
Mm-hmm.
connecting with other people or the community, or if they are isolated, what I first suggest to, like I do with my kids, is like you go to the nature. Nature is your best friend. So
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you walk in, you are connected to the nature. You would not feel that you need someone in your
Mm-hmm.
surroundings, so that sense of security will come through with the nature. And then like the contentment. And then the other thing is like whoever is in the family, like I do cooking with my kids. I'm standing in the kitchen, but they are cooking, so
Yeah.
easy meals they can do it. So this kind of little bit connections they can do it. The other thing what I do with my daughter is like I throw challenges to her.
I
So
love that.
that one is like she is very creative, and
Mm-hmm.
she is 10 now, so she's more into skincare and all the routine. So
Mm-hmm.
we go shopping. She
Mhm.
buys things, whatever she wants, she'll buy. Will bring that thing at home. Then she will start creating, looking at the product, creating the same product, designing the logo.
Ooh.
Doing all those things. So she has sold like actual product as well. So
Yeah.
we take her to the Sunday market, and wherever you are in Australia, you have this community programs as well, like community run markets and get
Yeah.
together and all that. Yeah. So we take her there. We set up a stall there. Then she sell product
Mm-hmm.
to the people. And one point of time, there was the day where she couldn't sell anything. She
Hmm.
came up with the idea. She put everything in a basket. She went to the people, sold to the grandparents for their grandkids.
Love it.
So,
So,
yeah, so we have this strong community where we parents have to make efforts, but we can take them out
yeah.
and give them exposure into developing a skill. So
Mm,
the other project she is doing right now is a passion project, which her school teacher also has adopted, and he is helping. Like the school is helping her to develop further, like in a website and all that. So that way kids are learning skill as well. So
mm,
my motivation is always the traditional education doesn't give the skills,
yeah.
but what gives you a skill is what you are making efforts, like the learning part.
Yeah, and what you're partaking in. I think there's two really good points I want to hone in on there is one, it does require more effort from parents. And
Yeah.
I want to say that I want to call that out because we know that parents are busy. Most of
Yes.
the time, if you are a two-parent household, you're working full time, it's busy, your kids have school, like it's hard, right? When we're calling a spade, it is hard,
Yeah.
but the time and effort that you put in now is going to benefit long term. You're
Yeah.
creating good foundations for your kid, whether it be skills, like you said, whether it be just something fun. One thing we used to also do markets as kids, and I would make bracelets and sell them for like $1 or $2. And
Yeah.
it was something fun. I enjoyed, like, it took up my time to make it, and then I could sell it, and then I would use my pocket money to go and buy something that I really wanted, or to reinvest in the next lot of things or whatever. It just taught me really good skills.
Yes.
But over time, as your kids get older, particularly as they become teens,
Yeah.
you can help them, but you don't have to be there all day.
No.
They can feel confident to run the store themselves and
Yes.
build that confidence. I think it also, sorry, my dog's just shaking. I think it's also the power of things like, again, it does require more effort and some research, but if we are going to be, having this social media ban, which we are,
Yeah.
like, sit down with your kids on a family computer
Yeah.
and do some research. If your child is, this is one example that I've seen recently. There was a girl talking on the news about how she's really stressed about the ban because it's taking away her community of diabetics, because she's a diabetic,
Yeah.
right? And she said, okay, I have diabetes. It's the only way I can connect with other people. I live in a rural area. Sit down and look up online, communities or groups that
That's
support
right.
people with diabetes, and join like a WhatsApp group, for example.
That's right. So yeah, instead of virtual world, go real.
Yeah,
Like
go real.
that's connection. Yeah, that's connection. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I think just remembering that, I know it sounds weird, but go back 10, 20 years and just
Yes.
remember that there was a way to connect. Like, I had friends that moved interstate. We became pen pals. We wrote each other
Yeah.
handwritten letters. You can
That's
still
right.
get on the phone. We're not saying
Yes.
you can't.
Yeah.
There's so many other ways you can connect. And I understand it's hard to make
Yeah.
the change, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that we're cutting off connection. If anything, we're opening up new opportunities.
Yes, and it's just the social media ban is happening, right? Nobody is taking the technology away.
That's right.
So technology is there. If somebody wants to, like, create, connect or something, still there.
Yeah.
So nothing is going away. It's just that few things has been not built for kids.
Yeah.
It's been taken away.
Yeah.
That's it. And
That's
for me, what I think is, like, all the big giants. They don't let their kids to use all this social media and
So
anything.
true.
That was the first question and quest for me. Like, if they can't let their kids to ruin, and they know that what is the side effect of using all this dopamine, like, so many things. Kids have anxiety attacks, you know, uh, their attention span has gone. They are more irritable. They are more confused. They don't know what to do. So if they can control, they can take care of their kids. Why not us?
Yeah,
Why
100.
we are so trapped?
Why do we? And
Eh,
also, as adults or parents who are going to be
Yes,
listening to this, think about your own social media usage. I know personally,
yeah,
my attention span is so broken. It's so
that's
broken,
right.
right?
It
And
is
it starts with that awareness. And
Mhm.
imagine if that's happening to us as fully grown adults.
Grown up. Yep. What will?
Imagine,
Yes.
yeah.
And then if we go in a science, little bit of brain development,
Mm,
their brain is not developed to handle all this stimulation,
mhm,
and they are honing on attention economy.
mm.
Why we let our children be their profit makers,
Yeah. I'm
right?
sure, have you heard of the new thing that movie or directors are now coming up with, particularly for Netflix? It's called, so now they have a brief when they go and they pitch a movie or they pitch a show, they're
Yeah,
calling it second screen viewing. And so
yeah,
they're creating shows knowing that people are going to be on their phone at the same time.
yes, that's right.
Isn't that insane?
Yes, yeah, that's what I sometimes gives me that thought that why, having that awareness, why we let our kids go into that black hole. There is no coming back if we don't control them, if we don't educate them, if we don't guide them. It's not taking us or telling them not to do it, creating that awareness that this world, what you are thinking is your world, is not meant for you.
Hmm.
If you are bored, there is a creativity, bored, the you can create something, and a lot of things you can do it, and we used to do it when we were growing up. We have done so much, and we survived, right? We
We
evolved.
did. It may not seem like it, but we did.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we absolutely did. And I have so many fond memories because I'm on the cusp, right? So I got
Yeah.
a smartphone in when I was about 14. So
Oh, okay.
I got a smartphone then. And so I graduated high school in 2013. And
Oh,
so
okay.
I did have social media and like it was nowhere near what it is now, but we did have it. And it was just kind of, we're all still getting used to it. So, and the other thing is the divide between economic status, right? Because there was
Yeah.
a lot of kids that couldn't afford, like smartphones are $2,000, $3,000, right?
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
then they're the only phones that allow you to have the apps. And so there was this divide between those that could afford it and those that couldn't. And I think that's still there.
Oh,
Um,
it will be still there because we just talking about the technology, but then what about the big brands? Like, that insecurity is always there. We need to have that conscious awareness that what
mhm,
do we need? Like, I always talk about these big expensive bags or jewelries or clothes
mhm.
or all that. Do we really need that? We need a handbag to put our stuff. It's there.
Yeah.
We need a good clothes. We can afford those. Why we have to compete and compare with other people?
Yeah.
It is simply your insecurities coming out and showing it. Oh, we can do it, but
Yeah.
at what
And we
cost?
we pass that on to the kids,
Yes, kids.
right? Which
Yes,
is who
right.
then see that behavior, they model that behavior and then
Yes,
they show that with their friends and
yes.
it's this cycle, right?
That's a
But
cycle. Yeah, it goes on. Yeah,
yeah, this one thing I want to bring up, and I'm interested in your ideas, is because this ban is coming, and like what advice or support can we give to parents when their kid is used to having these apps and all of a sudden they're not going to have access? How can they manage? Because there is going to be emotional outbursts, there is probably going to be anger and stress and anxiety. How can we
yeah.
support parents through this?
See, what I am thinking, constantly last 3 weeks, I'm talking to my son about, so it's a continuous conversation happening with him. So
Mm.
we can continue that talk, what will impact him. So then he can come up with the ideas as well. And then what we are taking away, they have to understand. We are not taking away the educational apps, right? Like they are taking away the YouTube. But YouTube, which YouTube we are taking away? The Reels one, the Shorts one. Nobody is taking away the Khan Academy. Like
Yeah,
all the educational apps or all the learning apps or the
yeah,
coding, right? All those things are still there. So
yeah.
they can use the technology, they can be on there. But what we have to do is we have to divert them and make them sure that they're thinking from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So that I have started talking to my son that, okay, if you don't have the Instagram or TikTok, how you will connect with your friends. Then he's like, I have always got the phone, I can talk with them.
Yeah,
So phone, they can, you do the, like, video call, they can do,
yeah.
still they can play the PS5 games, which is like a sports game and all that. So there are multiple ways still they can connect. It's just that it's like, constant dopamine,
Yeah.
like the food will not be there.
Yeah, but I think you're right. It's about having a continuous conversation, number one. Don't just sit down the day before it happens and say
Yes,
this is happening. Like warm them up to the idea
yes,
so that they're prepared so
yes,
it isn't a big shock and stress and they have time to maybe even now slowly start transitioning, start to delete the apps,
yes.
whatever, and just to help them with that transition so it's not bang, you know?
On the same day, yeah. And the other thing is like, if I approach in a holistic way, so what I do with my son is like I give him nutritious food as well, like I give him little herbs and all that. So I have introduced those things to calm the nervous system. Like he uses cinnamon, ashwagandha or honey and all those kind of things, which will help to calm the nervous system as well. So we can, introduce some foods like a brain food, we can call it, like
Mm,
biohacking as well, so that it will be easy. The other thing what I feel is like, these school holidays are coming as well. So it's like, blessing in a disguise. It's
mm.
like more connection time
Yes.
for the family. They can go on a holiday
Yeah.
and, you know,
And kids will have more opportunity to meet up in person
yeah,
because there's less stressful schedules, right? There's more
yeah,
space in the school holidays to do
yeah,
in-person activities, going to the movies, going to the park, all of
yeah,
those kind of things. You have more time. Whereas when you're in a school term, it is harder to do
yeah,
those in-person things. So I think you're right. I think that's going to be really good. And I love your point about actually asking your kids, sit down, have a
yeah,
conversation, or get in the car because we know a car conversation is great, and have a
yeah.
chat with them. Say, hey, what do you think about all of this? What do
That's
you what do you want to see? What would you like support with? Because they might say, oh, I don't really care.
Yeah,
You never know,
that's right.
right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And then, other thing, what I tell him, like, you don't have to be everywhere. You don't need to be, on this, all this type of platform. You have got a gift. So you be creative in that way. Think how can you manage. You might have a more play dates with your friends. So
Mhm.
you are now old enough, you can go by yourself, you can travel yourself. So you that way, they can have one on one conversation with the friends as well. So that
Mm.
space they need to create, and we can't tell them what to do, we have to ask. So we have to be curious about around their thought process, what they want to do it, and then navigate from that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, and sometimes even I forget this, is
Hmm.
that it's not a ban, it's a delay,
Delay. Yeah.
right? Because they're going to be able to have it when they turn 16. Realistically, you're still a child before 16 in
Yes.
a lot of sense of the world
Yes.
and even in the legal sense for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so even things like consent, right? You can't legally consent until you're 16.
Yeah.
So when we think about the types of content that's being served to young people, they're not consenting to see that content
No.
and
No.
they can't. And
No.
so it's just important to have a bit of perspective when I know there's a lot of parents that are against the ban or against the delay and they think, it's the worst thing ever. But just remember that, it's giving them a chance to have a childhood, like you said at the start.
Yes.
It's giving them a chance because one of the biggest things I hear from the teens that I work with is that they feel trapped. They feel like there's this pressure to always be on and to always reply. And if they don't reply, their friends get mad. And if they don't keep their snap streak, there's this stress around that. And it just gives them a bit of brain space to actually focus on what's important, and that's being a kid.
Yes. Yes, that's right. And sometimes, this all this media and technology have made them mini adults, but they are still children. They
Mhm.
are acting as adult, but we know that they are still child. So the child needs to be curious. That needs to be, fed with the creativity and all that. So the
Yeah.
real creator has to come out.
Yeah, give them the space and the
Say,
grace to actually just be silly, be a
yeah,
kid, have fun. They don't have to grow up so fast. Trust me, there's a lot of time to be an adult. It's not great.
yeah,
You'll
and
have
yeah,
you'll have time for that later. Don't stress. But, the window of it's only, I mean, if we think about it in this perspective, it's only 16 years, whereas you have, 60, 70 years of being an
that's
adult.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's a blip in time, and I think sometimes we do need to zoom out
yes,
and remember it is just such a small blip in time. And
yes,
because, yeah, I think that's kind of, something important for perspective for parents that are maybe a bit stressed or worried about what this is going to mean for them
hmm.
and, their kid. But if you had to leave everybody with one or two pieces of, wisdom, what would you share?
Okay. So I'll share with you something which is like very close to me. Our children are not meant or designed for overstimulation. They are designed for the imagination, right? They are the creator of their own life.
I love
They
it.
are not built for the pressure of constant comparison and a competition. They are built for joy, curiosity, and the connection. And that's what I want. And social media can wait. Childhood cannot.
I love it.
That's
That's so powerful. And tell us more about your Mindful Mums Corner that you're creating.
so this is that's that all these this big giant question came up to my mind, and I because I'm very conscious about all these things, so I thought, if I'm going through with this pain of the technology, what about other moms? So I'm trying to come up with so many ways how can we connect as a mom. And being a mom of two kids, I have got a mother's group, but we rarely see them because we all are so busy. So then I thought, let's meet up once in a week or something and create something. So I came with up this idea, but then I didn't want it to go on a social media as well straight away, because I'm telling my child that
Mm-hmm.
don't use the social media, and then if I go there,
Mm-hmm.
then it's conflicting. So
Yeah.
then I was thinking, and then I thought of this idea that okay, WhatsApp is the best place to start with, and we can create a little community where all the moms can come and support each other, listen each other, because everyone has a different story,
Yes.
and everyone has their narratives and struggles and problems. But how you are navigating,
Mm.
or one little thought of support can
It
make
matters.
their day as well. So yeah, it matters. So that's what I'm thinking, to build one or like WhatsApp community where we can connect each other and help each other.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I will make sure for all the listeners that we put a link in the show notes so that they can go and join, and I'll be in there too. I would love to join, and I think it'd be great for us to all connect together and just have that sense of community that I preach about every single week on this podcast, which is to make sure you share this episode with someone that you think would benefit, because the power is in community. And unfortunately, when you are a parent of a tween or a teen, that community gets smaller and smaller because you're expected to know what you're doing, which is just so silly in my opinion. So we're here to bring that community back. And yes, thank you so much for being here today as my guest. It's been awesome chatting with you, and I'm sure we will chat again soon. But to all my listeners, thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe, follow, leave me a rating on Apple Podcasts, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.